Good morning, Top Fan family. You got Baseball Bill and Grand Slam Sam back together again for Around the Diamond this Saturday morning. It is beautiful out where I am. I'm located this week. I'm taking this call from New Hampshire. Bill still rocking it down in LA, but it is gorgeous here. We got great baseball to talk about, not just great baseball, playoff baseball, what we live for. This is what October's meant for. We're ready to jump right into it. Let's not waste any more time. So we're going to start off going into what this NL playoff picture is currently looking like. And man, oh man, Bill, this playoff picture in the NL is so tight. I'm so excited that these games are being played as close as they are and as intense as they're playing them. I mean, if you look at this right now, let's start with the Padres and the Dodgers. LA came out on fire in that first game, won 5-3. But these last two games, they've been struggling. Now, last night was a close one. It was a nail biter. It's only 2-1, but San Diego right now is hot. They are on fire. And the way that they're looking at it is we were a playoff team. We got nothing to lose. We make it to the next round, even better. If we don't, we already exceeded our expectations. So what else do we got to lose? But let's also look at this Phillies Brave series. Now, if you've looked at some of the podcasts recently, my pick for the NL championship was the Braves. But right now, Philly is coming out and saying, don't F with us. Just don't. Because we are not the town and the team you want to screw with. Philly came out in that first game and kept it a nail biter against Atlanta, 7-6, winning it in their home state, in Atlanta's home stadium. So you knew they came out of the gate on fire. And then, Atlanta said, oh, well, we're going to pick this back up. We're going to take game 2 with a 3-0 victory. But Philly yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw this game, but Philly made a statement. Rhys Hoskins, with his 3-run shot, basically said, we're going to take this and we're going to fight tooth and nail to show you who we are, what we got, and what we deserve to win. And that is the NL East. But let's also let's take a side step. Let's look at this AL picture. Bill, what are you seeing?
So I'm glad that I'm doing the AL this week and not the NL, because after last night's game and my cardiologist visits, excuse me, after my cardiologist visits, I don't know that I can talk about it. So here's the thing about the AL pitcher. Okay, there we go. Here's the AL pitcher. So the Yankees came out hot in game 1 and then sent it to a game 2. They gave it up in 10 innings. Okay. And so what's interesting about this is, again, you're now best of 5 series. You're going back to Cleveland. So Yankees have to play in Cleveland and win at least 1 out of the 2 to get back to the Bronx. So advantage Cleveland right now. Houston is just, they didn't dominate game 1. They had a 3-run walk-off home run. They kind of dominated game 2 as far as like taking control of the game and kind of being with it from there. I think Seattle's run is probably going to be over. Maybe not today, but probably tomorrow. I don't think you're going to see going back to Houston with that. I'd be surprised, actually. So Houston's playing the ball that everybody thought they could play. New York is playing nowhere near like you would have thought they would have played with the 99 win season. But as you and I have said, Grand Slam Sam, a number of times, just getting your dance card punch is one thing, but everything starts at 0 in the playoffs. So it doesn't matter if you had 111 wins, 106 wins, 99 wins, or 83 wins. You got in, you're there.
Yeah, and you make a very good point. I mean, these are 4 great teams, especially in the AL, that all made it. And everyone has been on the Yankee train. Everyone was I was on the Yankee train. I'm still on the Yankee train. I still think they're going to pull it out somehow. But, like you said, like we've said numerous times to the Top Fan, universe, everyone's at 0.
Yep.
You got to fight to keep this. So as we move forward, let's look at some of the small injuries. They actually are both AL teams, and they're both on the team, and they're both facing each other. So, Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, these aren't huge losses for these guys, but at least they're losses, right? Nick Sandlin, is out for the remainder of the season. Uh, these guys aren't the guys. We're not looking at Aaron Judge here. We're not looking at Miles Straw. We're not, it's it's guys that play, but it's not guys that are gonna hurt the club so much that they're out, right?
Right. But
So,
uh but
but
the
it takes it
NL
easy.
side is looking nice and clean. It's look like a full healthy boat, except for
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Except, yeah, I don't know. Fernando Tatis hasn't showed up yet, but oh, that's right, he can't. That's the steroid thing. Oh, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad. I mean, can you imagine for a second if the Padres go to the World Series and or win the World Series? The Padres are going to look at Tatis and say, "Hey, we did this without you,
But we still have to pay you.
but we're going to figure this out." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
And they're in a difficult spot. But look, this NL picture, there's only 2 games left in this division series. And really, there could only be 1 game left for both of these teams. We don't know what's going to happen. You got the 2 games today, 4 baseball games today, which gotta love a Saturday with 4 games of baseball. But if either the Phillies or the Padres win today, that's it. The 2 top dogs in the NL could be out after today. I am truly hoping to keep baseball exciting in the NL. I'd like to see the Braves and the Dodgers win tonight. I'd like to see it go to a game 5 for both of these series. I think it would make baseball even more exciting than it already is right now. But if the Phillies and the Padres can ride on this high that they've been going into from yesterday to today, more the Phillies probably than the Padres because it was such a close win. I think Philly could lock it in today. I My guess is, in all honesty, I see Philly locking today. I see the Dodgers winning, and then I see tomorrow being a Dodgers Padres game 5.
yeah.
Who goes to the championship?
Yeah,
Oh.
that would be awesome. But again, my cardiologist makes more money. Um,
Fair
I
enough. So this
on
AL
on
schedule.
on the Houston side, Houston's up 2-love. I think the Mariners will win today. I don't think they're going to win tomorrow.
Hmm.
But again, who knows, right? So you got 4 games, as Grand Slam Sam said, you got 4 games today. So the Yankees, I do not think they'll get shut out today either. So I think we'll have 4 games tomorrow, which is awesome, right? It's a perfect way to fake an injury and not go to church, right?
That's
There's
it.
4 games of baseball. Do I think that the Astro series is going to go back to Minute Maid? I don't. I think the Astros will wrap it up in Seattle. Do I think the series is going to go back to the Bronx? I do. I think the Yankees will win today. And then it's kind of putting the Guardians in a position that they have to win Sunday and then Monday,
Yeah.
right? So this could go into Monday. But this playoff scenario, Sammy, it's driving me crazy. Manfred has this
What's causing you to
situation.
go nuts, Bill? Bill, speak your mind. I want you
Yeah,
to speak
I'm
your
telling you.
mind.
I mean, Manfred, like, how do you think you're going to add an additional round to the playoffs and get it all done in a month and go into November? Now, in a hypothetical world, Sammy, in a hypothetical world, right? In a hypothetical world, the Guardians make the World Series. Okay. Let's say the Guardians do make the World Series. Okay.
I'm gonna
Um,
hold on. Okay, let's go.
yeah, exactly. Let's say the Guardians do make the World Series. Okay. And let's say that the Braves or the Dodgers make the World Series. Okay. They have better records than the Guardians, yada yada yada.
Yep.
Okay. Here's how this works out. Game 1 of the World Series is October 28th. Game 2 of the World Series, as long as nothing gets pushed back, game 2 of the World Series is October 29th. Game 3 in Cleveland wouldn't be until Halloween night. Game 4 would be on the 1st, and game 5 would be on the 2nd, on November 2nd. Tell me how warm it's going to be in freaking Cleveland on November 2nd to play baseball.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a bright and and warmthful, probably 43 degrees.
Maybe if you're that lucky,
If
right?
you're that lucky.
If you're
And Bill,
that
I
lucky.
agree with you. This is the, you know, it's one of the and you make a very good point in that in the statement you made. If nothing gets pushed, and
Right.
that's the key. Adding the additional series, I said it on Thursday on our short postseason snippet, which you can find on the YouTube channel for Top Fan Rivalry, that this is going to upset a lot of players. Now, as from a fan's perspective, we've all said, I think we can all agree from a fan's perspective, it's great. Seeing a little bit of extra baseball is an awesome thing. No issue with it.
Exactly.
2 thumbs up for me, 2 thumbs up for Bill. We're there. But from a player's perspective, you've lost days off. You are shortening you literally have to condense these games now, because Top Fans, if you think about it, on Thursday, the Yankees game was supposed to be played. So realistically, the Yankees would have Sunday off, the 16th, if they didn't postpone the game on Thursday, because Sunday would be their travel day. But
No, there is no
now,
travel day. There is no travel day between cities for games 4 and 5.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess regardless, then it would have still been close. But now
Huh?
you've still more or less condensed things and lost days off. And I believe we spoke about it before we even jumped on that, the NL has lost a day off in this entire
Correct.
scheme, because we're moving things, we're adding series, we've added 3-4 games. It's become more of a la-di-da-di-da-di-da free for all than a actually scheduled and well planned and thought out postseason.
Exactly. And here's what's interesting, Sammy. You bring this up. So Thursday they get rained out, right? In the Bronx. If they would have gotten rained out on Friday, they would have had to stay in the Bronx on Saturday and play on Saturday. Then they'd have to play on Sunday, right? Game 3. And if it went to a game 5, then they'd have to go back to the Bronx on Tuesday, which is supposed to be the day off before the championship series starts. So
Right.
then you end up having a situation where you may have to push back the start of an actual series because you had a few rainouts. Now, again, we're in Seattle, right? And if Seattle advances, let's just say Seattle wins 3 in a row.
Yeah.
If they advance, it's wet there all the time, but it's wet in October. So if Seattle and Cleveland are facing each other, you might see some rainouts or snowouts in
Yep.
Cleveland. You never know, right? And
Or
so
even in
that's the
Seattle, you may see it. They're right on the water. You got that humidity that comes right. You got the humidity that comes in. They get
yeah,
a cold front.
yeah,
They
yeah,
get a cold front. You forget rainouts and snowouts. You could get snow ins.
yep, yep,
Now, the good thing is now the one thing I can say is with at least with Seattle and T-Mobile Park, they've got a roof. They closed the roof they closed the roof. You could at least still get some games in, but it's still blistering cold. It's not going to change the fact that it's blistering cold and wet as heck.
yep,
And like you said, in Cleveland, they don't got that luxury. There's only so many teams that have arena type settings for their parks. Houston's one, Seattle's another, Tampa Bay's a third, where they have that luxury where even in rain, sleet, snow, and hail, baseball will prevail. But,
right.
Cleveland, you're right. Let's just throw out a fishing line and reel it back in. And let's just say we have a Seattle Cleveland championship. I would.
So I'm saying
Manfred better pray to the baseball gods.
right.
That everything goes perfect in Cleveland because he
Yep.
can work some things around, in Seattle. But the last thing the baseball fan community is going to want to see is a repeat of the 1989 World Series where every single game was played in one stadium.
Well, there was a reason for that.
Well, yeah, but still, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
yes,
right.
okay, there was an earthquake, it was a natural disaster. Baseball couldn't account for it. Win. At that point, play at a neutral stadium. Don't play at one fan basis stadium solely. My opinion. Only my opinion. I would have honestly rather them go to a college stadium or a college park that both teams' fan bases could have gotten to make that happen rather than playing all the games in one park and basically 86ing an entire fan base out of seeing their team play. My opinion. Obviously, it was 33 years ago, so it really don't matter. But
Exactly.
it's a huge, it's a key factor
I
that
get I get why they did it though, because the season started a couple weeks late. I get that. And I do like the extra playoff round. The issue that Manfred's going to have is he's going to have to figure out, can we start the season earlier?
yes.
Because on the worst case scenario, right? Let's say the Rockies make it to the World Series against Minnesota. What are the odds
Mhm.
that you're not going to see a snow out in either Minnesota or Colorado
Yep.
in November, right?
Yeah, I
Besides
mean,
for the fact that
Colorado
only
is
Denver and
notorious for having
and,
snow in November.
and Minnesota and Minneapolis are watching those games, but
Yeah. I mean, and let's just go into this deeper. Think about, you still got you got Chicago,
uh-huh.
you got Detroit.
Yep.
What else? You got the Twins, Seattle, nothing in Utah.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, snows in St. Louis beginning to middle of November time. You're and so that's great for the teams that play up there primarily in their year, and that play there primarily throughout the year. But then, let's flip this. Let's look at all the teams that don't play in cold or semi-cold weather that now are being pushed into having to play in this type of weather in the postseason when in years past they wouldn't have had to. Look at the
Right.
Dodgers, look at the Padres, look at the Cardinal, look at the Diamondbacks, the Astros, Angels, all these teams in warm weather, the Rangers, the Rays. They don't have that luxury of being in colder weather for a portion of the year.
Yep. 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 No,
So
it's true. It's true. It's just here. The only thing, and I'll wrap this point up because I don't want people to fall asleep on us here. But I mean, Sammy and I recognize that we've got faces for radio. We get it. Okay, we don't want you to fall asleep on us here. Um, but again, there is no. I'm looking forward to the day, Sam, that I can watch the traditional Lions game, right? Um, the traditional Lions game on Thanksgiving and Game 7 of the World Series. I'm looking forward to that because at some point that's going to happen.
and you know what? This may be the year it does happen.
It could.
I
It
mean, the
could.
next thing we know, Manfred's going to say, forget 162 games. Let's go to 170. Let's make it a round number. And then all of a sudden, we're really playing baseball into December.
Yep. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
now let's jump a little bit ahead. Let's look at some fun things we got coming up for next week. So next week, this is what we got. This is subject to change. Of course, things happen. People get sick. A little trickle in their throat. They may not have as beautiful voices as Bill and I for radio to be able to jump on a podcast. They may have to drink a little bit of tea and loosen up the vocal cords. But next week, there is a fully loaded schedule of amazing podcasts coming out. Bill, kind of just take me through this
Yeah.
amazing lineup you got going for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank you, Alex. Alex and Matt, husband and wife, huge Angel fans, huge baseball travelers. We've already filmed that one. It was phenomenal. These guys were phenomenal people. And so their podcast drops on Monday. Sarah and Dave are both Red Sox fans, They live up in New England area, but they've got baseball IQs like you wouldn't believe. They're going to give us a playoff breakdown from the perspective of not having skin in the game, what they see from that aspect. By the way, Sarah calls it right now the mutants at table 9. She references, Wedding Singer, which is funny. Um, Wednesday will be Jordan. He runs an Astros site on Instagram. Great guy. He's been on the podcast before. Anna Jeanette is a Dodger fan. She drops Thursday. And Zach, who we haven't had on before,
Again, a
drops.
newbie?
Yeah, newbie,
We
new
adding
Yankees
a
fan.
We're adding a member to the Top Fan family this Friday.
We're gonna give it a try, right? What can you do?
We'll see what it's like. You and me both know some of these Yankee fans can be real sticklers, so we really just got to make sure he's loose.
Yeah,
he's not. He's open to criticism.
correct, and
is open to saying if the Yankees lose in Game 7, the year wasn't a total waste.
right. And so and speaking of the podcast, we do a lot more than the podcast, obviously. But speaking of the podcast, I want to thank all you Top Fan Rivalry listeners to it, because we are now averaging over 700 downloads a day. We are on pace to do 20,000 downloads this month, which means you guys are loving the content that we're putting out there, and we're very grateful for it. And Sam and I worked very, very hard on continuing to put good content out, and we're going to continue to do that. In fact, you'll hear Sam's voice on the interview with Zach, probably. And so that works out wonderfully. So anyways, that being said, that's what we got going on.
And more in line with that, we want to hear what you want us to talk about. If there's specific topics you'd like to hear us talk about, if there's specific fan bases you want us to try to get more onto the podcast, or if you're part of a fan base that hasn't been referenced on this podcast, reach out to Baseball Bill or me, Grand Slam Sam. We would love to have you on. We are all about inclusiveness. This is all about giving the fans a voice, to be able to speak their mind, speak their piece, talk about their love for the game, talk about their hate for their team at the time, other teams in the division, but do it in a respectful manner, of course. Now, Bill, real quick, where can you find these podcasts?
So you can go right onto the topfanrivalry.com website. I always include a fan picture. You click on the fan picture, bada bing, bada bing. It goes on to Spotify as well. And it also gets pushed out to about 14 other platforms through RSS feed. So feel free to take a look. If you have a Spotify, hit the notification button and you'll be notified. Just so that you know, Monday through Friday, there's a podcast that drops at 4 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday.
Fans, how can you not love it? You're getting baseball basically 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I love it. Bill loves it. It can't get any better. Now, here's some things to keep a lookout for, Top fans. We got some great postseason merch coming. It is looking awesome. I have seen some prelim drawings for this merch. It's going to be awesome. You can get that at the Top Fan Rivalry website in the merch store. And as a little shout out, you can use promo code all caps SAMW and now get you 10% off your purchase.
That's absolutely correct. Why pay full price?
Why pay full price? Get a discount. We're living in a world where discounts are great, and you should expect a discount if you can get it. And you can get one real easily. Go to topfanrivalry.com, click on that merch store, pick out one of the great shirts, pick out one of the awesome hats. If you're a Giants fan, I know firsthand we got Giants colors coming, and you can get that with a 10% off hat. And it's going to be, again, Sam W, all caps, one word, use it. But also, because it's the postseason, Bill and I are jumping on extra hard. We are trying to get in after every single game with at least one fan from the teams to talk what they saw, what they liked, what they didn't like, where they want to see them improve in the next game, where they want to see them improve next season if they get knocked out. We don't know. We don't even know who's going to be joining from the team, but we're getting on extra. We're doing extra reach out. So if you're following us on Instagram, keep a lookout for these IG lives. They are going to be on fire over the next 2 to 3 weeks with the postseason going. Bill, there were some additional things you wanted to bring up to the top.
Yeah, you did great. You did great. So let me tell you, top fans, a couple things you need to know. One, Sammy just told it to you perfectly. Okay, Grand Slam Slam just gave it to you perfectly on the postseason merchandise that will be up on the site here in this week. And there's some limited edition stuff, so make sure you grab it. But we actually are starting what we call a founders club, and I will have more details for you on that coming forward next Saturday. So when you listen to this next weekend, there's going to be a Top Fan Founders group, okay, which will offer you certain price points, offer you specific things. A lot's coming up with that, and you're going to want to be a part of that because, as you know, things are always subject to change. But being part of the Founders Club or the Founding Members Club with this, nothing will ever change for you. So it's pretty doggone awesome. And so we're excited to announce that. I will have all the details for you next week.
I'm super excited.
Yes,
we may throw some extra special stuff out in there. Who knows?
Who knows?
It could go anywhere. It could go left, it could go right, it could go up, it could go down. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Exactly.
But Bill, I love doing this with you. I love being able to wake up on a Saturday morning and talk to you about baseball from the last week, what's been happening, what to look forward to. You have anything to say to the Top Fan family before we sign off?
You know what, Sam, I appreciate this. Every Saturday I look forward to doing this as well with you. I appreciate the graphics and everything to that nature. Top fans, just pay attention to what, again, Top Fan was built to be fan involved. It was built for you. It wasn't built so that I have an outlet to talk about baseball. It was built for you, Top fans. So let us know what you want to talk about. If you want to come on a podcast, I am, like Sam said, you can reach out to him if you'd like. Reach out to the Top Fan Rivalry site on Instagram or Twitter and say, hey, I want to be on a podcast. I'd love to talk about X. Okay, there's going to be some additional information in the postseason. Don't think the podcast is going away in the postseason. We'll still have podcasts that are going to drop every day. So get excited about this. This is going to be a
Bill. It may be Bill and I just shooting the shit.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
But we're going to talk baseball on it. We're going to talk about the great things that are happening, and we're going to be talking about the scrap, and we're going to be talking about what the golf scores were of all the players that have been, are finally getting some rest and relaxation. We're going to be talking about agency. We're going to be talking
some sooner than others.
We're going to be talking about trades. We're going to be talking about drafts. We're going to be talking about it all. We're going to be talking about spring training baseball. Man, oh man. You're going to blink, it's going to be there. So, Bill, again, happy Saturday. Oh,
happy Saturday to you too. Don't forget, Top Fans. Sam and I forgot to mention this. We will have a special guest on next week, next Saturday. Don't be surprised if you see a special guest. I know we're running out of time here. The little buzzer's going off telling us, hey, we're almost done. But we will have a guest for you next week. We're excited to be on. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for organizing this. Thanks for running it, Sam. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to run this, Bill. It's great to always see you every Saturday. Top Fan family, make sure you join us every Saturday right here, locals.com. Search Top Fan Rivalry. Support us on Top Fan. One other quick little thing. If you support us on Top Fan for $3 a month, Bill is going to be the kindest man on the planet. He's going to send you a koozie along with your sign up. And guess what? If you sign up for $5 a month, Bill is going to be an even kinder person. And he's going to send you, Bill, is it a shirt or is it a hat? I don't even know anymore.
It's a shirt. I'm going to send you a shirt.
You're going to get a Top Fan Rivalry shirt with one of our 3 logos on, with one of our 3 sayings on the back. Get loud, get baseball ready. And what's that last one, Bill?
Get dirty.
Get dirty.
There you go.
Top fans, make sure you join us next Saturday. We will see you around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. See you on the field.
Perfect.